Okay, Phoenix, Shweebes, I know we're borrowing this until Aaron gets back, but why is there pixie stick dust all over the control panel for the time machine?
I have no idea, but don't touch it.
Yeah, that's not me. That is all Phoenix.
I mean, we had to make a return trip for Sally here, and we got all this fucking pixie stick shit on the fucking dashboard.
It won't be there in a second. Give me time.
I'm sorry. I had to time travel back to the 90s and watch some Hey Arnold and listen to 98 Degrees. I'm sorry. I'm back, though, so.
But still with the
Welcome
fucking
back.
pixie sticks.
They were good!
I'm not talking
would
about
still
you,
be those.
Sally. I'm talking about the drug addict over here.
Hey, I sneeze rainbows. You leave me alone.
He's got a point. He does sneeze to pretty rainbows.
Stuck in my past, about to relapse. I keep running back to you.
Anyway, though, guys, welcome back to What Grinds Our Gears, the podcast, the family podcast that does all the stupidest stupid, and just dropped a huge bomb on you guys last week because it's September. I can talk about this now. Well, you guys already know me, of course. It's me, V, your sex ed doctor, every single year round for all this sort of stuff, from first times to those awkward moments of, is masturbation technically a sin? Answer is no. Joining me, of course...
It's
Joining me,
only a sin if you don't do it.
True.
Gotta love yourself or no one will love you.
True that.
Exactly.
Joining me, of course, as always, finally coming back from their full-blown sabbatical of Vampire and Me, the conference call for all vampires everywhere. We all know her leading her own kingdom everywhere in the sky now. They got a new propeller to have it be gyro-operated and whatnot. All of a sudden, there's also Saiyans everywhere and an android that's shirtless with his dick out everywhere. We're not asking
It's pretty
questions.
legit.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my big sister, Sally.
Hi!
Just so everybody knows, that's Android 13, and that's not his actual number. That's his size.
And then, of course, as always, we have the new members of God Hand that used the behelit from Griffith after he was done fucking guts up the ass. They now have a huge demon army with 2 Hellcats that take the form of Sketch and Callie. They have a huge blown republic of Shweebdonia and a huge blown out republic of Ginger Mafia members ready to enslave all of humanity, but refuse to do so until the next solar eclipse to then reap our very souls. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shweebes and Phoenix!
Correction, though. Sketch actually isn't ours. That's my sister's, and he's been away now for about 2 months. He finally went to go home with his mummy.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
That's fine. He was a good boy, though.
But you probably all wondering, Birdie, where are Hubs and Britt? Guys, calm the fuck down, okay? They're fine, okay? Hubs and wife are off on an anniversary thing at the time of this recording, and Britt is off to get that money at work. Calm the fuck down. We get it. We get all the fucking letters.
Work,
Yeah,
work,
seriously.
work, work, work.
Work, work.
Britt doesn't get reception on corners. Why do you guys keep bothering her?
We get all
kidding.
these fucking
Britt,
letters,
love you.
man. What the fuck? We get it. We want the whole cast. We fucking stand. Suck a dick and shut up. Anyway.
Look, if they're having issues with self-love, I'm pretty sure dick sucking is a pretty high sin up there. My question is,
Can they reach it, though? That's my question.
is a blowjob a cardinal sin or a venial sin?
I would say
That is a
venial.
sausage sin. You keep the veal out of this.
Anyway, though, guys, you all remember last week we talked about the 90s?
Yeah, boy.
Well, we back with more 90s.
Oh my god.
Yes.
But anyway, man, we had to stop in the middle of 1998. Everything still seems very good. I got some IBM and Microsoft stock, so we're gonna see how that goes. But aside from getting rich in the future, there's a lot more stuff that happened in the 90s that we're just now remembering, such as the birth and the dawn of what is now the plague of memes everywhere of the boy band craze.
Oh Lord.
Every woman in the world remembers boy bands, whether you were a mom in the 90s, a kid in the 90s, a slut in the 90s that was just blowing dudes in the 90s. Everybody remembers the boy band craze.
Oh god, nipples. The boy bands. Oh my god.
So before we go into any other topics, we're gonna let the ladies take over. So Shweebes, Sally, the floor is yours with the boy band craze.
Okay, so Sal and I were talking about this a little bit before the podcast started, and
Yes.
he's like, "No, stop! Save it for the podcast." So, at my school, or one of them, anyways, that I'd gone to, the Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC was a huge
God.
fucking to do. Oh my god! If you were one or the other, you were bitch talked to. Like, how can you? This guy's hotter. It's like, what's it matter? Their songs are good. Shut up. I technically was more in sync myself only because that was the only CD that I got as a child. I didn't get Backstreet Boys till I was like 20. Not because I wanted it that way. That's just kind of how things happened. But personally, I like them both. But Sal, give us your opinions and thoughts on it.
I liked both Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I was not picking either one. My personal faves were Five, and they were a British boy band, so if you don't know Five, it's probably why. But they were in a lot of like Disney Channel original movies, and their music was everywhere, and I was like a Disney kid growing up, so I loved DComs, and they were like everywhere on Disney Channel. And then 98 Degrees were like my I still love them to this day. Like I follow them all on Instagram. They're so funny. Like 2 of them are on Dancing with the Stars. I love it. They're so entertaining. But I know they couldn't dance to save their lives, but their harmonies are incredible, and they could sing, like, amazingly, so...
Oh, God. You wanna know what's funny? My folks and I like to, like, just watch a whole bunch of old-ass, like, music videos and stuff, and I was like, I want to watch the one where it was 98 Degrees and Stevie Wonder, they did the song,
Yes!
that one.
Yes!
So, we're watching it, and I'm like, my God, they cannot dance, because he's
Right?
like, up there. You people at home can't see this, but that was pretty much it. And he's just like, yeah, and I'm like, whoa, why? I love it.
Nick shaking that booty, like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, shaking it hard. Like, you've got nothing to shake. Put it back.
The other good 90 Degrees one was I Do. I don't know if you remember the music video for that, but it's like all the guys were engaged to the same woman, and like they had all these different scenes leading up to the same wedding to the same woman.
I think I
It was so
vaguely
funny. I love it's like this beautiful romantic song. The video was such a troll. Like it was so perfect.
Oh my God. It just sounds amazing.
Yes, you know, it's definitely one to look up. Like
Well, since we're already on the topic of songs, my God, there was, and that might just be because we're 90s kids, but the music back then was fucking phenomenal. It doesn't compare to the stuff that's out nowadays, which
God,
again,
we sound
great.
old.
I know. I know.
I just sit around sometimes and I'm just like, some of these kids talking about all these rap songs, but I remember back in the day where it was stuff like Tupac, Biggie, the remains of NWA, LL Cool J, the birth of Ludacris,
oh yes.
even Vanilla Ice
Ice baby.
had enough cred to just be able to be like, I got several black friends, so I might be able to say the N-word. No, you can't. Okay. Then.
Oh, no.
Also, like I love the R&B as well. Like I loved like Aaliyah, someone like incredible, and oh my gosh, like,
Ashanti, ooh.
yeah, Shanti.
Ooh, and
yeah.
Timbaland got his big start in the 90s too.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I forgot about Timbaland. And Nelly Furtado. Oh my
Nelly-
Nelly
God.
Furtado, oh
Correct
girl.
nipples for those two right there. Oh my
Yeah.
The things I would have done to her if I was as old as I am now.
Oh, what was that other? It was a big thing that. TLC.
Oh yeah, before
TLC.
Left Eye Lopez died.
That one. Yeah. And then
Yeah, Waterfalls was my
yes!
jam.
Don't
Waterfall.
go chasing
do you
waterfalls.
recognize any of this stuff, Bev?
Listen
Like
to
seriously.
the rivers and the lakes that you
These
to.
texts.
Yeah, for those of you that may have missed the previous podcast, I've been asking Phoenix, does he remember anything from the 90s? And he's just got this, like, stone cold face of, like, no, not really. And I'm like, Beb, what were you doing during the 90s? And his story, and he's sticking to it, is the pixie sticks. But I'm like,
Hence why I'm still scrubbing off pixie fucking dust from the whole time machine. Seriously, man, what is your addiction?
Well, Bev, I think the one difference is, I mean, I know you were still huge into, like, well, actually, no, I think that's when it started, was, like, the horror movies and stuff. Do you remember what of those you watched back then? Like, what was your first horror movie?
Okay.
How old were you?
Let's be straight. As far as music goes, my mom and I weren't big into listening to the radio. We listened to old albums we had.
Oh, no.
And different records that we had.
Oh, God.
So Metallica, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were about to say something trash like ABBA.
No.
Ow, that hurts. I love
that's
ABBA.
my music.
I love ABBA. I grew up on that shit.
So, I mean, that's roughly where my music was. As far as movies go, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, huge fan. Friday the 13th, huge fan.
It obviously came out during the 90s.
Actually, the first two started before the 90s. It was late 80s. However, most of the others, except for Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which was absolute garbage. Oh no, I'm laying it down now.
Can you dig it?
That long tongue scene, garbage.
Ew, yeah, okay, I know what one you're talking about. Ugh. Yuck.
But yeah, so I was there during the 90s, but honestly, I spent more time in my room playing with Legos. And
That's still a 90s thing, though.
Legos was a huge
Legos.
craze during the 90s.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And anyone remember the old Ronald McDonald videos, cassettes that you got from kids' meals?
Nah, I don't remember those. I just remember the weird toys.
I remember those. I also remember the Disney little Disney toys you would get. Like I remember when Hercules first came out, they had the little Hercules figures in there, and they had Lion King stuff in there. And...
Remembers the Disney cups that Mickey D's used
yes,
to
the Disney cups.
We still have some.
I don't think it was Mickey D's. I was pretty sure it was Burger King that actually
Was it Burger King?
Yeah.
It was one of the two, but it was a big 90s thing.
We didn't get toys. We got cups.
Yeah, and
we got cups. We got promotional deals from movies. It was like 90s kids were spoiled by all the things across the globe if your parents actually liked you, unless you wanted to rob the McDonald's in the middle of the night because they didn't feed you, so you just broke through the windows. Not that I relate or anything.
I'm gonna say experiences there, bud?
Yeah.
Anyway. The promotional stuff for the 90s was a lot more action-oriented for the kids than it ever was today, because everyone else is just like, oh, you get this small little deal of branding for all the stuff for big infamous films like Ant-Man and the Wasp, or for Infinity Wars, or for Venom, or for The Equalizer 2, or for The Shape of Water, or for Ex Machina. Everything's just like, we'll get you this promotional deal of these laptops if you in the film though. But for the 90s, just like, yo, kid, you like this movie? Yeah. You want to get this promotional toy? Yeah. Buy a fucking kids meal. Okay.
Oh.
You like Lion King? You got cups. You like Hercules?
Yeah.
We got cups.
Right.
But the 90s Happy Meal toys that you got though were friggin' awesome. Who remembers when Inspector Gadget came out? If you went there, They had like 6 pieces, and you built like this monstrous, like fucking.
I remember that.
Yeah, and depending on how often you went there, you're like, hey, I've got this piece and this piece. I'm missing this. They were real chill about it. So like, here's the last piece. And you're like, yes, finally, it's completed.
My life is complete.
Right? Yeah, we never completed that, and there was 4 of us.
With our powers combined, we still fail.
Exactly, but we were like, we don't care for Inspector
You see
Gadget, but it
you
was
see
still a
Voltron
thing.
hopping along on one leg. No!
Form arms and leg, and I'll form the head.
Right?
We are incomplete Voltron. Wait, where are you?
Wait, wasn't Voltron also a 90s thing?
80s, actually.
80s?
Was it 80s? Okay.
No, they did a remake for the cartoon show, didn't they?
That
In
was
the 90s.
That was early 2000s, technically.
Ah.
Losers.
And then they did the remake today, which I still have strong feelings about, because fuck you, DreamWorks.
I was gonna say, is this good? Is this like boner level feelings, or just like
feelings?
like waking up?
Like, it's not
still-
as big of a feelings as I had when the Wachowskis redid Speed Racer. Like, I still want to set them on fire in their houses.
Oh, so this is more like waking up still next to the one night stand,
Because wake me up.
Before you go.
Go.
and you realize that the sun is up. So now you're like, why is she still here?
I
Thought we had a
I thought I said
But-
it's only a one night thing.
Right, I thought we had a deal. Go away.
we had a legit agreement, and
You're not holding up your end of the contract, bitch.
look, if
Get
you
out.
aren't a 7 or higher, you don't get breakfast. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
So take your 3 happy ass out.
Oh. You looked like it's 7 when I was hammered.
But
Ass
now
out.
that it's sobering up, you went down to a 3.5.
Also, the iconic catch line of "Bye, Felicia." Came
Thanks
out in
to
the 90s.
Friday.
Did it? Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Bye, Felicia.
Because
I never-
Friday
nope.
made it so popular thanks to
I know.
Ice Cube's delivery. It's like,
Uh-huh.
"Bye, Felicia." It's like, motherfucker,
Felicia.
that is cold as shit.
Yeah.
Yo,
And then
that
it
also was the
became-
brimming part of Chris Tucker's career. Friday was his big blockbuster thing. Then Rush Hour near the end of the 90s,
Yeah.
and then here we are today, where no one can really get him in a fucking movie that's very successful.
Yeah.
See, I like Chris Tucker back when he was playing, like Friday, where it was, and I want to be very gentle with the phrasing, but he's kind of ghetto in how his character is portrayed.
Oh, he was
'Cause
very
he
good.
does that character, he does a very good job portraying that. You know what I mean?
But then he found God, and he was just like, oh, I can't do these roles anymore.
Oh, loser.
You think God wasn't there when you were doing
You
the
think
roles
God's not
before?
ghetto? Please. He was like, I'm gonna put you motherfuckers on this earth, and then I'm gonna fuck with you for the first half of this so-called book, and then I'm gonna ease up and be real chill because I finally found my bag of weed. That's ghetto God. If there is one. I'm just saying.
my children, I have this proclamation to tell y'all. So my second son of Snoop Dogg is coming down to actually save y'all
Yes.
sorry asses.
Yes, queen. Yes. No one can tell me different.
Oh god. I can just imagine that now, that someone will probably animate that if we ever get this thing even more noticeable, just like all of a sudden, ghetto God. What are y'all motherfuckers doing on this podcast? I don't know, God, what are you doing? I'm trying to sell out this weed, bitch. What you want?
Just have smoke weed every day playing in the background.
Oh, weed every day. That shit, as annoying as it was because of how often I saw it, was, I'll say, it was fucking lit. I loved that. I was like, yeah, play this, and then it was just overplayed, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But you know, one of the biggest selling point of the 90s was that it took a long time for people to remember to today.
The fucking Furbies.
Well, them too. But
Burn the Furbies.
the 90s also brought about kids actually trying to actively read more so than the kids of today.
Yes.
Reading Rainbow, for fuck's sake. Come on.
Reading
Reading
Rainbow
Rainbow's
for
the
one,
shit.
but then there was also the novellas from Goosebumps,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Animorphs.
Animorphs.
That was before Harry Potter for you kids out there.
Yeah.
The Scholastic Book
And
Fairs.
it's
at the
also
school.
twice as good as Harry Potter for those kids.
Thank you!
I agree, yes. Animorphs was amazing.
I mean, the
Deserves a
TV
lot
show
more.
was shit, but the books were where it was at.
The books are great.
Books were legit.
Mhm.
Like Cassie getting her man, her pasty white boy that needed saving all the fucking time, then just like, bitch, I could do better than you. I got me a new man now that we saved the world. I don't need your small dick no more. I'm gonna be happy today. And then Rachel just like, I'll be the leader because I'm the real
Right?
I'm the real HBIC in this motherfucker, Jake. I'm the real head in charge of all this. I'm the one that takes out all these aliens by myself in these animal forms. Eat my cooch.
I loved Rachel. She was my favorite.
See, I was reading this one book, and it was cool because there's a tarantula on the front. That was the reason I originally bought it. But they end up running into, they accidentally run into an android who is secretly pretending to be infected by the ear slugs.
The years.
Oh, yeah.
But he's actually infiltrated them and is collecting intel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was one of my favorites. I think I still own it
forgot that
somewhere.
it was the weird ear slug thing. See, I never read the book. A neighbor of mine had the entire collection of books, and I was the most that I got involved with that was looking at the cover because it shows him going from human to morph into whatever kind of weird creature, and I was like, well, that's fucking cool. Too much reading. Just how I was a kid. I saw like a couple of episodes, and I was like, okay, for graphics, it's not so bad. And I was just like, I really can't get into it, especially with the ear slug things going in your ear holes. And I'm like, no, that's kind of grody.
Shit, when I saw Animorphs for the first time, I was like, so I could make my voice sound like Visser 3?
Right?
And look at where I am today, motherfucks. If you watch any of the shows I make today, half the roles I do, I sound like Visser fucking 3.
Oh my god, you kind of do. I'm remembering the voice again. It's been so long since I've seen this show. It actually, I remember.
Oh, Sally's geeking. Yeah.
But still, before the big craze of people saying 2017 and 2018 kids are the biggest reading group that we've ever had, bitch, hold my beer real quick. 90s kids were the ones that read the fucking most. Because we had that shit on lock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Goosebumps alone.
Goosebumps made people want to fucking read before Harry Potter was like, oh, I want to be a wizard so badly so I can suck Draco's dick.
Leave me out of this.
Goosebumps we read and went, God, I am never going to camp.
Oh, my
Right?
favorite Goosebumps were the ones where you could choose your own adventure.
Oh.
I love those.
They don't do
Evil
those like that
Day.
anymore.
I know, right? Like, I forgot, I don't remember what it was called, but it's something to do, it was a camp thing, I know that, and then there's like, something to do with this cuckoo clock, something to do with a
Cuckoo
werewolf,
Clock of Doom.
something
Oh.
to do with
Ooh,
an elevator.
and the what's the mask one called again?
Oh, the Haunted Halloween Mask.
Yeah, the Haunted Halloween mask. Then there was the one where the supervillain came to life because the kid loved supervillains. I was like, is this
That was cool.
Is this my son in a book?
Okay,
Say Cheese and Die.
Say Cheese and Die
And Say
again.
Cheese and Die. Yes, I loved those. There was, oh my god.
So
Man.
to all of you guys that are probably going to watch this in the future, probably like people from the year 3083 watching this on like your own unique virtual pods and shit, just so you have this clarified, 90s kids read more than 2017, 2018 kids. Get your fucking facts straight. Also, I did not die in the middle of a heart attack. I died smoking weed and I burnt my leg off. And I had a heart attack.
Because
So the heart attack still happened.
But they
But
didn't
you know
get
what's
it right.
really great? You know what's
What?
really great? But like currently they have like Teen Wolf is like the big show with like werewolves like nowadays for a while. Before that there was Big Wolf on Campus. Who the fuck remembers Tommy Dawkins and Merton J. Dingle
I remember that.
fighting off supernatural shit in their little town? And there's like, oh my gosh.
I remember the show, but I never watched it.
It was so good.
Then there was also that one series about that girl that could change into a pool of water or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Her name Max or something. I don't know. No, I know it was an M. That's all
Alex
I remember.
Mack.
I think so.
I think that was it. Along with that, this is even before I even came to the States, so I'm amazed I know all this stuff thanks to all those crappy commercials in Russian, German, and Spanish. Wasn't there like a huge craze of like these idiots in spandex that people mistook for Super Sentai? What was it called?
Power Rangers?
Yeah, that group of idiots. Like, just to clarify to everyone, I never watched the American stuff, just the Japanese ones.
Phoenix is offended.
I
He's
see
like,
the finger, Phoenix. I see
Don't
the
talk
finger,
shit about my Power
and
Rangers.
I don't give a damn. I never watched the American one, just the Japanese. So when people told me about this, I was like, what?
Let me put it this way. I will admit they are cringy. But to be fair, the Sentai, the Kamen
it was
Rider,
just as cringy in Japanese.
Honestly, it's the exact same formula played over. And it's like, what was it, Beetleborgs were a thing as well?
I heard of Beetleborgs, though. I heard Beetleborgs.
I'm just saying, same exact recipe, slightly different spandex.
And also, Kamen Rider was trying to become part of the States in the 90s, but that was failed. They
No,
made
but that
a
was my
Mass
point.
Rider for some fucking reason.
You can't like Sentai and then immediately shit on its fucking American twin.
It happened.
It honestly, they were the same show with slightly different colored spandex. That's all it was.
Offended.
No, and the only reason I
salty.
even liked the Power Rangers was because of the Green Ranger, because he was a bad guy and he's like, fuck you.
Are you talking about the MMA fighter?
Yes.
Jason David Yo, I want him to go back to MMA so fucking badly, but he's doing some show or whatever.
Loser.
But my point is, he was a legit fighter, went into the show, and they're like, okay, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be a Power Ranger created by the bad guy. So you're going to kick the shit out of all 5 Rangers at the same time. And I'm like, yeah, I could completely see that happening. Because the first 5 are like pansy-ass bitches. And the Green Ranger's like, and in his human form, became best friends with them. Knew who they were. Power Ranger form, beat the shit out of them. And then used the knowledge he had from when they were not in their Power Ranger form to pretty much own them every episode. And if it wasn't until, I don't know how Alpha 5, fucking the robot. I don't know how the fuck the Power Rangers are getting the shit kicked out of them, but the robot fucking catches the Green Ranger. Figure that. Explain that to me.
I can't. I didn't watch it. I didn't. Even as a young adolescent girl developing into a young adolescent, smaller woman person, I really wasn't into the guys being in spandex.
Spandex!
I was just like, nah, I'm good.
My brother watched it a lot. That's how I caught
because
it.
I loved fucking David Bowie's bulge in fucking Labyrinth, even though I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, wow,
apparently was just
fucking
like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, this is something I actually heard from someone that watched the Labyrinth live in theaters. Just like, I couldn't explain it, but I was just wet when I watched it. I was like, how old were you? 9?
Oh my god.
There you go.
It's David Bowie.
That's a lot.
He's pretty.
David fucking Bowie. Oh.
Like, when his dick was
Rest
on
is-
display with his balls, everyone was just like, yo, David.
And he's playing with that clear sphere, so you're like,
Oh.
he's overemphasizing that, yes, I play with my shit.
It's just like, will you allow the girls in the audience to play too?
Did you know that wasn't actually him playing with that?
No, I know. It was
They had this one guy that actually, that's his hobby. That's what he does. And he had to learn how to do it not being able to see what he was doing. That guy was so annoyed at first And then later when he figured it out, he's like, this is actually kind of cool.
This is my crack right here.
Right? He's like, a challenge. It was interesting.
But man, the 90s really helped shape a lot of big curves that we know today, because honestly, with the resurgence of retro stuff going on, why aren't a lot of the big fads that made the 90s so great actually coming back into fruition today? Like how they're trying to bring back stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. When is the time for the 90s to be like, all right, it's the big full-blown comeback, y'all. Y'all can finally do the experimental shit and we'll allow this.
Like the fucking bell bottoms, damn it. Bring back those. I realized that was a 70s thing in the 90s, but I fucking loved those pants.
That's because those pants will never go out of style.
Ugh, fucking
90s clothes in general, though, are just terrible. Remember, like, those really baggy pants that just fall off your butt? Like, they're not meant to stay on. Or you would, like, trip on them. Like, ugh. The clothes were just bad.
Okay, not the fashion,
super
obviously.
Straight pants. Those sucked.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You want to know what I wore in the 90s?
Clothes.
T-shirt and shorts. Do you want to know what I wear now?
T-shirt and
T-shirt
shorts.
and shorts. Nothing has changed.
We know.
Except for the logo on it.
I mean, I wear everything, so I just don't wear skinny jeans because apparently my whole dick and balls are on display, and I can't do that anymore, guys. I'm off the market. I can't just have that just be on display everywhere. It's just like I'd be hanging out with either my sister Shweebe or my sister Sally, and then it's like la da da da, and it's like, yo, nice dick. What?
And we would too.
Yeah.
We would not be afraid to be like, yo, hanging kind of low today.
That's a penis.
You're like, man, that's like pocket size.
Wow. How would you know, Hooker?
You showed me.
He showed me. Get me through the phone. That's all that came to my head when you said that.
Speaking of, the 90s was also the years that they invented the dick pic. Because that's when phones finally started having cameras.
Oh my
True.
Oh my fucking
True.
god.
I was gonna say.
Related subject.
Yeah. Oh, and to all of you, what are referred to as millennials or Generation XYZ QLMNOP, whatever.
Well,
the
we're
fuck you're
Generation
called.
Y, so
Yeah, why?
Yeah, flying flippity floop. These new brats
Technically, I hate to
nowadays.
say it, if you are between the ages of 21 and 35, congratulations, you are classified as a millennial.
Fucking let me finish.
which is Generation Y.
Okay, so Generation Z, y'all can put up with this whole, oh, I feel so bad for those that grew back in the 90s. They had like nothing. A bitch, that's
We
the
had
grandfather.
everything.
Shut up. That's the grandfather of technology, mofos.
Yeah.
I mean, we went from the computers that people had in the laboratories to being like, all right, we trust you guys enough to have computers in your own homes. Just don't look up porn or anything. 5 minutes later, oh god, so much lesbians.
The
Yes.
internet is for porn.
Yes.
Yes, Avenue Q. I love that. I don't think that was a 90s thing. But
It's not. It just fit. It just fit.
it did.
Avenue
It fit
Q
really well.
does kind of fit as something that would come into the 90s, or like the original 21 Jump Street would fit in the 90s.
True. Too true.
Fresh
Oh,
Prince of
that was
Bel-Air
also-
was definitely still part of the 90s.
Yes.
And then the
God, I
awfulness
feel-
that was Family Matters.
Yeah.
And then the boringness that was Full House.
No, I'm sorry. The only
I didn't really
sitcom
like
show,
either of
there's
those.
only 2 sitcom shows I watched that I actually enjoyed, and that was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and what was the one with Urkel?
That's Family
Oh,
Matters.
I was gonna say.
I liked Urkel.
Me-
he was like
You go ahead, Phoenix.
the only reason I liked Urkel was because he was so nerdy, so weird, but he was so about it. That was his thing. And didn't matter what anybody else said, Urkel was Urkel. That was it.
a date with Laura. He got a date with Laura. He got a date with Laura.
Exactly. I loved it because it showed you that you didn't have to be cool. You didn't have to be the regular guy. You could be nerdy and still have a good time and be part of everything.
And as proven today, nerds get the hot ladies.
Oh, have you seen Urkel today? He is so fucking hot. Like, oh my god.
Did you see the episodes where he switched to anti-Urkel?
Yes.
To Stefan. It's
I was
like,
like,
this
holy
party
shit.
is the bomb. I'm like, motherfucker, sir,
What?
stop being a 7.
He created a machine that was supposed to make him cool. It
Yeah.
made him into a bit of a jerk, but he was like everything that was considered the epitome of cool. And everybody's like, no, you have to go back to Urkel. We can't handle
Go back. We can't.
Go. We can't have Saved by the Bell, bitch. Be back to yourself.
And he would. And honestly, the weird thing was the cool Urkel would actively choose to turn back later in the show. In the beginning, it was a time limit thing, but as he progressed through the machine, anti-Urkel chose to return to Urkel.
Yes, Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan, whatever his fucking name was.
Steven Stefan Robo Urkel. I remember that because everyone's just like, hey, bro, you remember Family Matters? Suck my ass.
Yeah, like I said, that's the only reason I liked it, because it honestly had a really cool message. Plus, I love the father.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
I mean, he's cool, but no one will ever compete with Uncle Phil.
Oh
Uncle
my
Phil's
God,
me.
yeah. The episode where Will Smith meets his father, and there's that scene where Uncle Phil and Will Smith are talking about how
Will was fine without his dad.
exact yes, you know the exact scene.
And then
I
just
still
like-
cry over that scene.
And it's just like him saying that he got through his first date on his own. He got through his first basketball game on his own. He became a man on his own. And when he becomes a father, he'll be a lot better than his father. Then he just started yelling out to hell with his dad. And then just start bawling out being like, why didn't he want me?
What's wrong with me? Why doesn't he want me?
Which not very many people know that was not the scripted part. That was actually Will getting so wrapped up in what was going on, because that's actually a literal thing that happened to him in his young life.
Mm-hmm.
So it really hit him.
That's an actual.
Yeah.
That's not just him acting. That is him.
That was an experience that he legit had. So it spoke to home pretty hardcore for him.
So to everyone that's also going to be like, ah, man, Will Smith's so old. What people see in him? Let's see, Independence Day, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Men in Black.
Oh my God.
Hancock. Are you serious? Who can pull off an
Bad
asshole?
Boys, Hancock,
Yes.
Here
Will
comes
Smith.
Men in Black.
Wild Wild West.
Yes. Oh my
gosh.
God.
The movie was terrible, but the song was so good.
I loved the movie. It was lame as shit, but it was great.
Oh, that's why I loved it. I love like lame movies. Like one of my favorite movie series is Sharknado, so I like all the lame shit.
He finally watched all 5.
Yeah! Just in time for the final one. It's about time.
It's about time because we ran out of tornadoes full of sharks.
I stopped one day and I'm like, because I had never seen the first one, so I'm like, all right, let me see the first one. It was so cringy. I'm like, you know what? I could honestly drink to this.
It's like the Room type of cringe.
And then
Just
I
like,
got
hold
the
up, hold
second
up.
one.
We need to make shots of this shit right here.
Oh yeah. Like every time a shark dies, like someone kills a shark in a stupid way that wouldn't kill a shark, like a bar stool through its head or like a heel in its face.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, right?
Although
Oh,
I
no.
was surprised
Or like-
to hear how so many porn stars were in Sharknado. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, so many people are in Sharknado.
I'm like, I
So
don't
many
even know
people
any
wanted to
porn
be in
stars, dude. What porn stars? Like, oh, see that one right there? The blonde, she sucks dick for a living and she takes up the ass. That chick right there, she does full-blown frontal. This one likes to get spit on and then has a facial.
See, that's weird that you went that route. I'm like, wow, there are so many A-list actors.
Right?
This. And he's like, there's so many porn stars.
There's so many A-list people in Sharknado, or they just make cameos. You're like,
Oh,
what the hell?
I don't give a damn because A-list actors want to make money no matter what. But to have people just all of a sudden tell me like, you know, there's porn stars in this movie. I'm like, what? Yeah, like right there and right there, right there. Like,
Well, no, who was the comedian who was in the third one? He was the...
the voice of the
Here's
bird
your
in
sign.
Aladdin.
Bill Engvall.
He was Bill
Yeah,
Engvall
yeah.
was the third one, and it's amazing because he bites it in the weirdest fucking way. They're underground where excuse me, how the hell do sharks get it? And suddenly a shark just crashes through. Oh, we think the ceiling.
Surprise,
but
motherfucker.
it's like 30 feet of stone. The shark just like dive bombed into the guy. It's like, ah. They just wanted him to stop being a character in the series. They're like, yeah, no,
That's because he
Like,
costs too
cost
much
too
money. Look
Ah,
at all
I
the
see.
A-list people
Middle.
in for a D-list movie. It's just like, how much is your Oh, God, no. No, you only get a little
I mean,
screen
come
time.
on. David Hasselhoff was in there.
oh yeah.
David
But he was-
Hasselhoff's
Gil
barely
and
A-list.
Finn. Come on.
Let's see. They
Gil
had
and
Malcolm in the Middle. Malcolm
Yes.
was in one, and he died. He's my favorite death because every time he moved to try and press this button to make the fucking car explode, the shark took off another limb.
It was so good.
Poor
So-
Frankie Muniz.
Like, it's like a 8-minute scene of him just being slowly ripped to pieces, and by the end of it, he finally presses the button, and a shark just lands right on top of him,
Oh my
and he just
God.
dies. And then the car explodes.
I
so-
bet the whole time he's just like, fuck.
No, literally, it's amazing because it starts out. It takes out his left leg, so now he's limping to the thing. He gets on the top, and all of a sudden the shark goes. "Ah!" There goes his right leg.
Merely a
Now
fish
he's using his arms to crawl. It takes one. All of a sudden, this little baby shark takes out his left arm. So he's like pulling himself with his right arm. Hammerhead takes that one out. So now he's using his chin to like shimmy himself over to the button.
Oh my
And he
God.
finally gets it, and he goes to buy it. He goes to do it, and then a shark grabs his leg, starts pulling him away, and he's like, "No!" Well, what's left of his legs, obviously. And he's like pulling himself, and he hits his chin on it, and like a whale shark lands on him.
Yeah, that's great.
That's amazing.
It was
It's great.
I'm like, yes, everything about that is yes. The wife, I think, was the stupidest thing in the whole movie. Let's see, let's make her less and less human as we go.
She was on a fucking Iron Man suit. And she gives birth in a fucking shark. I mean,
What?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He goes to the top, and then fucking.
it's great.
Oh,
God, we got
Her
so
robo
off
chainsaw
topic.
arm.
That's fine. But okay. Alright, so back to the 90s.
Back
Yeah.
to the 90s, because we got
Back.
so far out of
Oh, we're
left
talking about sitcoms. Because you said like what sitcoms are your favorites. I had two. Actually 3. It was Boy Meets World, Sister, and Married with Children, which was weird because I was way too young to get why that was funny, but I'd watch it with my dad. As I got older, I was laughing my ass off at Married with Children. But Sister, and Boy Meets World, like, I watched religiously.
Tia and
like,
Tamara
both of-
Mari made so
Oh,
many people's
queen.
childhoods.
They were they're still queens. Like, Tamara does a talk show, and Tia has a YouTube channel where she does,
And
like,
she also
cool
used to
stuff
be on
stuff.
the a football show called The Game, where people just like,
Yeah, oh,
God
yes,
fucking
The Game was so
damn
good.
Tia.
I love The Game. The Game was good.
So many people wanted to fuck Tia when she was on that show. I was like, guys, imagine how a lot of us felt in the 90s when they were...
yeah, no, are you kidding me? Topanga was.
Topanga.
Oh,
She even had her own clip show in the 2000s for like a while.
like as a kid, she was like, "Oh man, if I had a girlfriend that was like,
Yeah.
it's the one right there." But to be fair, that was when emotions were raging and we didn't know what sex was quite yet. So
Speak for yourself, Phoenix.
I would hold her hand for days.
Speak
Well,
for
because Topanga and Corey didn't have sex till marriage. There's a whole episode of us, let me see something. So she flashes him in the elevator, and he's like, I saw the promised land. I saw the butts. And like, they were like in college.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it was legit.
It honestly played comedy-wise really well.
Yeah.
And honestly, and it wasn't Topanga, or honestly, I couldn't stand the main character. He annoyed me so much because, it's like, dude, you go out of your way to make your own problems.
Just like fucking Ted Mosby.
Yes. However, Feeny was my favorite character.
Best
Feeny is so
teacher fucking seriously, if
Yeah.
there was a show where Feeny and Uncle Phil were in the same room doing some awesome life lesson shit, along with the dad from Family Matters to be like, yo guys, this is supposed to help change your life forever. That would make the 90s the pinnacle of magic. And then Robin Williams just comes in, says something very inspiring with a joke. I'd be like, yo, Our decade was just fucking made. This was
Hold on.
history.
Hold on, Vinny. Robin Williams wouldn't show up with something like that. He'd come in and make a penis joke. That was Robin
True.
Williams in the 90s.
True.
And then just dip the fuck out, and then we just be bawling our eyes laughing from not only learning a life lesson, but all of a sudden a random dick joke from Genie from Aladdin.
Oh man, do you guys remember back in the 90s? And this is something I remember. They used to have it was Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg, and who the fuck was the Jewish comedian?
Which one? There's like
Billy
17.
There you
Billy
go.
Crystal would get
I'd be like-
together and they would do comedy, like a comedy skit.
That sounds
It was
familiar.
like
yeah.
it was for they were doing some kind of charity. But the three of them would get together and they'd make jokes, and then they'd have other comedians come out and do jokes. But the big skits that I remember were the ones where the three of them would come out, and it started out Billy Crystal is doing his thing. He's explaining what the whole point of the show was, and then he stops and looks at Robin Williams and goes, "Go ahead." Robin Williams had been standing there with his hands behind his back, smiling, doing nothing. But Billy Crystal's like, "Go ahead." And he's like, "What?" Big Over's like, "You know you want to. You've been on the show for 15 minutes and you haven't done it." He's like, "What?" It's like, and Chris was like, "Fine, just tell your penis joke and we can continue." And Robin Williams puts his hands in his pocket, thrusts his, junk forward and goes, "Ha-ha!" And then continues like, happened. And it's like, no, Robin Williams was all about penis jokes in the 90s.
That was his
thing.
That was his
That
shtick.
was
It still kind of was even in the later 2000s.
Yeah, but towards the 2000s, he started doing more inspirational work as well.
and
So
started
that's-
just mellowing out because of him going through Parkinson's slowly.
Yeah.
Well, he also had a daughter in the 2000s.
Zelda!
Love him.
Zelda
Uh,
Williams is so talented.
Oh my gosh, she was the only good thing about that show, Dead of Summer. Like, Freeform put out like this attempt at like a slasher show, like at summer camp. And the only good thing about that show was Zelda Williams. Like, she played a transgender character, and she did such a freaking good job. Like, she nailed it. She did so good. I'm glad she lived at the end. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad her character was like the two who lived. Everyone else could have died.
All right, guys. I know we've had the rosary glasses on for about 2 parts now, but now it's time for us to do what the show does, which is to find the gears that we have grinding about what we didn't like about the 90s.
Oh Lord, what we didn't like about the 90s? I mean, the one thing that I can remember was, at least at the beginning part of the 90s, was the fashion was very
Terrible.
pastel-y and
Ugh.
did not fit people right. It was just like, ew, okay. I would sooner wear something like what Lady Gaga would normally come out with. It was very... I have this picture somewhere of me wearing a full... I think I was like 10 in this picture, but still, it's so bad. This royal purple-ass shirt with a pocket on the left chest and white jean pants.
Ew.
Oh God.
And some weird-ass brown shoes.
Ew.
No, they were Reeboks. I was like,
Ew.
oh my God.
Ew.
Best part, I was sporting a bob.
Oh.
Wow.
That is so
That
90s.
was the fashion, quote unquote, fashion.
That is the most 90s thing I've ever heard of.
I
Damn.
know. Oh,
That's caught in evidence. That's the fucked up part. It is. That
it's
is
in
forever.
a picture book somewhere. I've seen it recently-ish, and I was like, oh God, please burn this one. It's not important. There's nothing happening in this. And my childhood just pointing at me and laughing, going, ha ha ha, you used to look like this.
You used to look like me.
Regret in one photo.
I want to point out I had a mullet as a kid. That was a.
You were able to pull it off, though. You had the face for it. Very few people
Business
have
in the
face.
front with party in the back.
Oh, yeah.
I want to point out. You telling me I had the face for a mullet is not a compliment.
What do you want, you rig piece of shit.
Alright, who's next? Like,
I
Phoenix
think
doesn't remember
that
shit
now.
about the 90s,
Yeah.
so...
Let's see. For me, it is something that was started in the 90s and it still holds true today. Barefoot
Socks and sandals.
No, barefoot walking through your room when you haven't cleaned up your Legos.
What the fuck, bro?
That wasn't just something the parents dealt with. That's something that kids would do. They'd leave it overnight and wake up in the morning, get off their bed, and realize they had forgotten to put their Legos away.
What the shit, man?
Too, right? Just saying, that was a big thing. That was the
It
thing.
was a thing, yeah.
Put the fucking blocks away.
I suppose for me, the other thing that I didn't like was the fucking troll dolls. Maybe that was just
Oh
me.
yeah.
Troll dolls freaked me out.
Troll
And
dolls and Furbies could just burn.
I had a Furby. It was
They were
cute
trying to be
for
gremlins
2
so
hours. And then wait, okay, this isn't something I hated. It's something I absolutely fucking loved. It was a Tamagotchi. I had one.
Yes.
They died
My
so
mom threw
easily,
away-
though.
I killed so many of those.
I had one. It was a dog. I wanted a cat, but my friend gave it to me because my mom was like, no, I fucking hate this. I got it. Had it for like 2 weeks, and then I never saw it again. And I was like, wonder who's responsible for that shit.
Man.
Man. Oh, it was while it lasted.
Sally, Yurgo, what grinds your gear about the 90s?
I was gonna say fashion, but my other one would have to be like Furbies. I hated fucking Furbies with a passion. Like, my grandma got me a Furby, and she thought I would like it. She got me like one of the Tickle Me Elmos, and I love that. So she's like, maybe you'll like a Furby. And I'm like, Tickle Me Elmo at least could be cute, and you could take the dang batteries out and stop talking. So,
Furby's just like, I will
Oh, yeah.
haunt you in your dreams.
like, it was like,
you with my big eyes.
it was right by my bed, and like I would hear in the middle of the night like talk, and it would like creep me out. So I'd like throw it in my closet, and I would still hear it. So like I would get up like way before my parents, put under like my dad's truck when he was going to work, and hope like he would run over it, but he would always catch it and be like, "Why is your toy outside? Why is your Furby outside?" And would put it back in my room.
Your soul will be mine.
And I finally just like threw it out the window, and we had a dog at one point, so I let the dog chew it up.
No, no.
Is it weird that the Furby I had as a kid, it would go off in rooms where nobody was there? They're motion active, but they
so
would go
creepy.
off in rooms where there's nobody there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I put mine in my closet because the thing for Furbies back then was because it was motion activated, if it didn't see anything, it didn't hear anything, it would fucking stay quiet. Put that shit in my closet, and it would just, at night, go off, and I'm like, something weird about that.
Hell no.
That's because Furbies were made by people that wanted to see what hell is like. And I gotta tell you people, hell is not the fiery brimstone you're probably thinking about. It's more or less just a giant plane of people getting beat the fuck up and then getting sodomized by a pitchfork all goddamn day on just the entrance alone. Then there's the center, where you got this one idiot in the middle of the place using a statue to scare people while he robs you, rips your skin off, beats your soul in two, then puts your soul back in saying, come back tomorrow so I can beat the fuck out of you some more, and also I used my dick to fuck you in the asshole while you weren't looking.
Hope you enjoyed your stay. Don't forget to fill out this survey at the bottom of your receipt.
And also, if you can just sign this here, the Lord of all evil really wants me to make sure that you're suffering very greatly. My anus hurts. Yeah, I have like a 19-incher, so just sign on this
Remember
dotted
when Satan
Your
shoved a
face.
pineapple up Hitler's ass?
Oh, Tenacious, or no, what the
Little
fuck?
Nicky.
Little Nicky.
Little Nicky?
Yeah.
Little Nicky!
Speaking
Puma
of
ran
putting stuff
away.
up people's butts. She's like, I'm out.
Was that something you hated in the 90s? Because I hated that too.
How often did you get stuff shoved up your butt that it was a thing you hated?
Don't judge me.
I mean, there was all the
You don't
tail
know.
attachments from the beginning of furries.
You didn't know my life.
You don't know me. You don't know my struggles.
There was so much just lodged up there.
You don't know.
I was constipated for weeks.
Wasn't the what in the butt guy in the 90s or that 2000s?
99. No,
99.
90s.
Okay.
90s.
Oh.
I think like
Okay.
the beginning of the 90s. What in the I say
But
what,
I said what in the butt. I still prefer Butter's version.
And then
of
there was
South Park
also the
because of all,
thong
the
song.
in the thong song.
Dong, 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 dong.
That was actually
That was a
good song.
hot song. Oh my
Yes.
Don't think trunk. Move on but all night long.
Let me see your
that thong.
your anal floss. Da-na-na-na. Okay.
Pretty much what it is.
Pretty much.
Baby,
Yeah.
that thong.
It's just sad when you can go to the mall and you see like underwear like 5 for like 20 like full on underwear like 5 for like 45 and like like 5 for 25 and thongs are like 3 for 45. I'm like it's butt floss.
It's essentially a rubber band with a bit of
Why
cloth.
why
around
does it cost more to get butt floss and like full on underwear?
Because
Like-
people that are freaks, I can attest to this because I have experience. Freaks that just want to rip it off and then just go to town. Because they're impatient fucks. They're just like, look, I gotta go back to my real love interest. You're just my side piece, and as your dom, I just want to handcuff you, rip your clothes off right where it is, and then just make you feel like garbage.
Thongs.
That's alright.
Or they personally enjoy having their butt flossed.
Maybe.
I mean, there are
yeah,
people that love getting their anus bleached, so...
Yeah.
which is a weird concept. We need to have a full discussion podcast on that. I have questions.
You have questions.
I
We
have
have 0 answers.
Yes, I get it if you're in the porn industry, but we're talking about the 90s stuff, so I'm gonna shut up right now.
Well, I guess that just leaves me about what grind my gears about the 90s, but I wasn't even in the States during the 90s.
So what was the 90s like for you then?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you
How's
experience?
it different?
Yeah.
It was cold.
Where was you at?
You know where I was at.
Okay.
It was cold.
Hell. Okay.
It had so many wrong possibilities. It's where I met Sophie.
Oh yeah, the girl that couldn't put on pants.
Until she was 18, yes.
Yeah.
It's where I met my childhood best friend of Levi. And then I met his twin of Lex. It's also during the same year that I decided to plot out how I would run away from home to go to the States. And,
And it happened.
sorry, I had to catch a fly that was going in my face.
Oh, the flies. Evil.
Evil! Well, I guess the number one thing that really caught me on like a whole Gears rant for the 90s for a majority of it was probably people saying country music was the new wave of life. And I'm like, country.
Oh.
That depends on who's
You want me to listen to country?
But even
Do I look like I hate living? And
yes,
then it,
okay then.
Look, not all country is bad. There are some country songs that are legitimately decent, and I'm
you
saying
don't
some
like
as in,
country though. Either.
Yeah, so it's weird that I'm saying this, but I'm being legit here. After being stuck for almost 36 hours in the last 3 days listening to solid country as a non-stop thing, I have to admit some of the songs are actually decent.
That just sounds like
I
a
had
person.
to listen to country the moment I came to the States, Phoenix. I haven't liked country. Only thing I want to do was either fuck Kelly Clarkson, fuck Carrie Underwood, but make sure they don't sing. It's like, y'all can talk, but if y'all sing, I will go soft and then pull off and walk away.
Well, is Kelly not really country? She's more pop country. She does both. Carrie's strictly like country, but Kelly's like a mix.
country.
I love Kelly Clarkson. I love her.
Country song has nothing to do with a tractor. I'm somewhat okay with
So
listening
think
to
my
it.
track
True.
sexy.
Yeah, that's the song that I will actually hurt people over.
That's
Tractor so sexy.
But if we're talking about 90s country, we need to talk about the queen of Reba. Because Fancy, someone make that shit a movie. That would be a good-ass movie.
Now that I think about it, what actually got me into a bit of country in the 90s was Billy
Reba.
Gilbert. That boy, and
I remember Billy Gilbert.
Listen to him because he was in a magazine. Because I feel like some '90s kids might know this. This kid really didn't have much singingness before. Wound up with like this ear thing. Had to have a surgery for it, and after said surgery, sang like a fucking angel. I haven't really heard any of his newer stuff since he's gotten older, so I don't know if that's still the case or not. But it was a cool story. His first album thingy was really good. I still have it, but it's scratched all the fuck. It's not bad.
Jesus fucking. Well, guys, we've done the grinds, we've done the gears, we've done the praise to all of our peers. However, I'm going to be dropping off another bomb for you all that you probably missed during the first part of the podcast from someone in the podcast of What Grinds Our Gears is getting married.
Sally, I can't believe you.
Oh, I've been hiding it. I'm sorry.
But the next thing I will be dropping for you all is that the actual identity behind who Amethyst really is.
Done.
And that is...
Got money on my mind every day. Please don't play with mine, put it in the bag. Usually I can leave it in the past. You won't make me have to show my ass. Ooh, I can love you till the sun comes up. Let me lay your body down. You don't even really gotta ask. I'ma love you better than the rest. Ooh, say something, say something, say something.